Hello everyone, and welcome to this AVL Agent webinar. Thank you very much for attending. This is a Skywave Mobile Communications webinar. I am your host. My name is Alina Nierojewski-Velez, and I am the Marketing Coordinator at Skywave. Our presenter for today's webinar is Dan Wilcox. Dan is a Product Application Engineer at Skywave and has extensive experience with this product. For those of you who don't know a lot about Skywave, we will provide you with a quick overview of our company before Dan gets into the AVL Agent presentation. So let's get started. Over to you, Dan.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Wilcox and welcome to this webinar, which will focus on some of the key points around AVL Agent. First, we will discuss what AVL Agent is and how it will increase your customer base. We will discuss the markets that AVL Agent is designed for, and how they will benefit from its large list of features that goes beyond just GPS tracking. We will describe the values of implementing AVL Agent into your application, and finally, we will discuss how to get started with AVL Agent. However, first I would like to talk a little bit about who Skywave Mobile Communications is and what we do. Skywave is a provider of satellite and satellite cellular communication devices and airtime services for machine-to-machine applications. Specifically, we develop and sell terminals, we resell Inmarsat satellite airtime, and we operate our own network and gateway. We partner with a global network of solution providers, system integrators, and OEMs whose main business is to connect remote equipment with vehicle managers in the transportation, maritime, mining, oil and gas, heavy equipment, and utilities sectors. As a solution provider, there are several things that need to be done when you want to support new hardware devices. You have to develop or buy the terminal, which is used for tracking and monitoring vehicles. You have to configure the device so that it sends information at pre-configured times and after specific events. You have to integrate peripherals or sensors like text messaging terminals and cargo door sensors. And finally, there is the work to ensure that messages from these devices are processed and viewable by your web-based application. AVL Agent is a packaged solution that reduces the time required for terminal development and terminal configuration when integrating an IDP terminal into your application. By using AVL Agent, you reduce or eliminate both terminal development and configuration time, which reduces your engineering costs and allows you to focus on selling your product into the market. So let's talk a little more about what is AVL Agent. AVL Agent is a software tracking application that is residing on Skywave IDP hardware terminals. This application is aimed at providing pre-configured events and reports without the need to program the terminal from scratch. In this webinar, we will review in detail some of the pre-configured events that are available to customers. Firstly, it is important to note that AVL Agent works across all of Skywave's portfolio of IDP terminals. This means that it can provide a solution for vehicles that move between remote areas and urban areas where they may or may not be in cellular coverage. It is a solution to the trailer and container tracking markets. AVL Agent is also a solution for markets where satellite connectivity is a must, such as in marine-based markets. The benefits of AVL Agent are: it is available today and can be preloaded into your terminal before it is shipped. Once you receive your terminal, all you have to do is configure the parameters to meet your customer's needs. It reduces the need for Lua programming by providing pre-configurable parameters and thresholds. We will be giving some examples of these in later slides. It is also worth noting that AVL Agent is simple enough for the markets that need just a GPS position, but advanced enough for applications with features like driver and security monitoring. Finally, since the goal of AVL Agent is to address new and existing markets, the feature set of AVL Agent is always expanding. This allows users to upgrade AVL Agent at no cost when new features are introduced. Now I would like to discuss how AVL Agent addresses existing markets by tracking vehicles and cargo, ensuring that cargo is safe and secure as well as on schedule, monitoring driver safety and driver behavior, monitoring vehicle and cargo sensors, tracking non-powered vehicles such as trailers and containers that require a tracking solution that uses low power. We will also discuss the administrative capabilities to you. First, let's talk about the tracking features. AVL Agent addresses the vehicle tracking market through the use of GPS-based reporting. It allows you to configure GPS reports based on either time or distance when moving or stationary. For dual-mode terminals, these options can be sent either over satellite or cellular depending on the configuration and connectivity available in the vehicle's current area. This is a powerful feature as it allows you to know where your vehicles are at any time of the day and if they are moving towards their destination. The turn-by-turn or heading feature allows you to track when the vehicle has changed its direction. In regards to cost savings, many customers require an engine idling feature as a countermeasure to prevent wasted fuel. Other tracking features that AVL Agent supports include knowing when the vehicle has started moving or if it has reached its destination. AVL Agent uses the GPS speed to track when the vehicle has started moving or has stopped. AVL Agent can also use the accelerometer to detect movement from the vehicle. This is a useful feature if a customer is waiting on important cargo and needs to know the estimated time of arrival. AVL Agent will push a notification to your application stating if the vehicle is moving or has reached its destination. Geofences are geographical areas around an important location or point of interest. AVL Agent will push a geofence entry or exit notification once the vehicle has crossed over the geofence boundary. When the vehicle is inside a geofence, you have the option of creating a time debounce. This time debounce means that the vehicle has been inside the geofence for too long, such as at a border crossing. Then, AVL Agent will send a notification to your application with this warning. As well, AVL Agent supports the use of polygon, circle, and route geofences. A route geofence is used for fixed routes that are used frequently. AVL Agent will send a notification once the vehicle has strayed from the predetermined path. AVL Agent can also give a simulated odometer value calculated from GPS readings. Here is an example where the speed of the vehicle is being tracked over time. The orange dots represent when a GPS position is sent from the terminal. The green dotted line is the stationary speed threshold, and it represents the speed which defines when the vehicle is moving or stationary. When the speed of the vehicle is above the stationary speed threshold, the vehicle is moving. When the speed of the vehicle is below the threshold, the vehicle is considered stationary or stopped. In this example, we have set the speed threshold to 5 km per hour. This is particularly useful if the vehicle is stuck in traffic and you do not want to be reporting false starts or stops. There are two debounce times. The moving debounce time is the time that the speed of the vehicle is above the stationary speed limit for it to be considered to be moving. In this example, it is set for 5 minutes. And a moving start report is sent after this debounce time to your application. The stationary debounce time is the time that the speed of the vehicle is below the stationary speed limit for it to be considered stationary. In this example, it is set for 10 minutes. And a moving end report is sent after this debounce time to your application. In AVL Agent, the user is able to define a speed limit as well as debounce times to know when the vehicle has started or stopped moving. This ensures your cargo is moving to its destination and is not just moving around the shipping yard. Now that your cargo is moving, you'll want to make sure it is safe and secure while on the road. AVL Agent has a built-in security monitoring feature that tracks any security risks. Notable features include GPS and cellular jamming detection, which would prevent the location of vehicles from being transmitted. Often, when moving through high-risk areas, there is a chance of cargo being hijacked. AVL Agent will detect if a GPS or cellular jammer is in use and will immediately send a notification to your application. Once the GPS or cellular jamming has ended, another notification will be sent to your application. Similar to GPS and cellular jamming, for dual-mode applications, the antenna could be cut, preventing valuable data from being sent. AVL Agent will then send a notification via cellular stating if the antenna has been disconnected or reconnected. AVL Agent has a satellite communication blockage feature that monitors when the IDP modem is blocked from the sky. AVL Agent will send a notification to your application once the vehicle is no longer blocked, stating how long it was blocked for. Another feature of AVL Agent is SIM card door tampering, which is useful if someone has removed the SIM card from the device. AVL Agent will send a notification stating that someone has opened the SIM card door, indicating that the SIM card has been removed. But AVL Agent has even more security features. They include power throttling and immobilization, AVL Agent contains power-up and reset messages with the current and last known locations. It is useful to know when and where the device was last powered off in order to prevent illegal activities in certain areas. AVL Agent can detect a power source change, which is useful when using the IDP 800 battery device. AVL Agent will indicate that the main power line is no longer active and will switch to the IDP 800's internal battery. For zone dwelling, AVL Agent can send a notification to your application if the vehicle has been at a location longer than it should be. This is useful when the vehicle has stopped at a known location, such as at a border crossing, but has stayed there far longer than allowed. Lastly, AVL Agent supports the option to use an immobilizer on the vehicle's ignition line for a period of time. This is useful if cargo has been stolen and the authorities are in pursuit. Your application can send a message to the device, and AVL Agent will disable the line for a set period of time, while the authorities retrieve the cargo. One of the more prominent features of AVL Agent is driver monitoring. Driver monitoring can help reduce accidents and improve insurance rates. A driver's bad habits can be identified and the driver can be provided with appropriate training. In regards to speeding, AVL Agent allows you to find the speed thresholds and debounce times before a speeding message is sent to your application. AVL Agent can monitor if the vehicle is speeding through a geofence zone and send an alert. For example, a user has defined a speed limit for a geofence around a school zone. A notification will be sent from AVL Agent stating that the vehicle has sped through that school zone. AVL Agent can monitor seatbelt violations in order to monitor bad driving habits or to prevent the driver from getting hurt during an accident. The long drive feature monitors how long your drivers have been on the road without taking a break. This feature is useful for monitoring driver habits and driver fatigue, as well as to provide safety to your fleets. If a driver has been on the road for a long period of time, then AVL Agent can send a notification to your application. As part of monitoring driver behavior, AVL Agent detects sustained speeding over time in order to reduce insurance claims due to bad driving behavior. In this example, we were following a driver as they break the speed limit and cause a speeding alert. The orange line represents the speed of the vehicle. The green dotted line is the speed limit, and it represents the speed which defines when the vehicle is speeding or not. When the speed of the vehicle is above the speed limit, the vehicle is speeding. When the speed of the vehicle is below the limit, the vehicle is no longer speeding. In this example, we have set the speed threshold to 100 km per hour. When it comes to speeding, there are two debounce times. The speeding time over debounce time is the time that the speed of the vehicle is above the speed limit for it to be considered speeding. In this example, it is set for 10 minutes. A speeding start report is sent after this debounce time to your application. The speeding time under debounce time is the time that the speed of the vehicle is below the speed limit for it to no longer be considered speeding. In this example, it is set for 10 minutes. A speeding stop report is sent after this debounce time to your application. The maximum speed is included in the speeding end report. In AVL Agent, the user is able to define a speed limit as well as debounce times to know if the vehicle is speeding or not. In addition to monitoring the vehicle and driver, AVL Agent has the ability to monitor sensors. AVL Agent has provided multiple functions when monitoring sensors. General I/O monitoring, where a state change from the I/O line will cause a message to be sent to your application. AVL Agent can monitor a service meter, where you can track engine hours and the odometer of the vehicle and schedule a maintenance. The service meter values are sent once a day or on request. AVL Agent can detect the ignition status and report when the ignition is on or off. AVL Agent can also monitor if the vehicle is idling, and therefore costing valuable fuel. As stated before, AVL Agent can monitor seatbelt detection and send an alert when the driver has unbuckled their seatbelt while driving. Lastly, AVL Agent can monitor serial or analog input sensors and provide detailed information to the customer. In the next few slides, we will discuss monitoring temperature and fuel in detail. As stated previously, AVL Agent can monitor up to 4 sensor inputs, such as temperature or fuel. In this example, AVL Agent is monitoring when the sensor has gone above the maximum sensor value. The orange line represents the value of the sensor over time. The green dotted line is the sensor max threshold, and it represents the value which defines when the sensor has gone beyond its maximum allowable value. When the value of the sensor is above the maximum limit, the sensor is too high. In this case, we set the maximum temperature to 100 degrees Celsius. A sensor max start report is then sent. When the value of the sensor is below the maximum limit, the sensor is no longer too high. A sensor max end report is then sent. The maximum value reached is included in this message. For example, a catering company would need to monitor the temperature of the refrigeration truck. With AVL Agent, a notification will be sent warning that the temperature is too high. The customer would then notify the driver that the refrigeration unit is malfunctioning. In AVL Agent, the same functionality can also be applied to a minimum value for a sensor. For example, customers may want to monitor the fuel level or oil pressure. In AVL Agent, the customer specifies the minimum allowable value, and then a message will be sent once the sensor goes below that value. This feature is useful in providing fuel economy, saving money for the customer. AVL Agent has the ability to send an interval-based report containing values from multiple sensors. In this example, the orange line represents the value of the sensor over time. There are two intervals in this example. The sensor reporting interval indicates how often the sensor interval report is sent from AVL Agent. In this case, it is sent every minute. The sensor normal sample interval indicates how often AVL Agent is sampling the sensor for new values. In this case, AVL Agent is sampling the sensor for new values every 10 seconds. With AVL Agent, all the customer has to do is define the sensors and the sensor report interval. AVL Agent will then send an interval report, updating the customer with the latest sensor values. AVL Agent brings in features to the low power market, such as trailer or container tracking. AVL Agent can trigger into a low power state based on either the ignition line or availability of external power after a certain amount of time has passed. When in low power mode, the IDP modem is scheduled to wake up once an hour to check for any new messages. The cellular and GPS receivers are turned off, and geofence checks are reduced. Low power mode is a great benefit to the trailer tracking market, as AVL Agent reduces both cost and power consumption, while still providing the ability to monitor sensors in a cost-effective way. Users are also given administrative capabilities when it comes to monitoring vehicles. AVL Agent allows the user to find the vehicle's current position and state, log all position messages, and retrieve them later so that they can debug their application, get diagnostic information of the vehicle to know its current states, set or get property values over the air while the vehicle is in the field, and enable or disable return messages over the air. Users can also set levels for every return message in AVL Agent. This means that the user can have critical messages sent immediately, while logging non-critical messages and then sending them over the air when in cellular coverage. AVL Agent provides numerous features with a cost-conscious focus. All AVL Agent messages contain a defined set of fields with two optional fields. This standard set of messages stays within the minimum satellite message size of 15 bytes with all the non-optional fields. The GPS fix age field will only be sent if the GPS fix has become too old. The odometer field is also optional to the customer, as it is also provided in the service meter feature. If the customer requires that the odometer is returned in all messages, then they have the ability to enable this field. Please note that some messages also contain additional information. For example, when crossing over a geofence boundary line, the geofence number is returned in the message. In regards to speeding, when the vehicle has begun speeding, the speeding start message will contain the speed limit. And when the vehicle has stopped speeding, the maximum speed will be contained in the speeding end message. Customers also have the option of providing their own custom message format with different resolutions from AVL Agent. Skywave's application engineers can help you by creating this custom message format to work with AVL Agent. If you think that AVL Agent might be right for you and you would like to give it a try, please get started today by calling your Skywave account manager for more information. You will have the option of either ordering an ISatData Pro terminal with AVL Agent already preloaded onto it, or to download and install AVL Agent onto an existing IDP terminal in your possession. When integrating AVL Agent, you are creating a web service to the gateway with AVL Agent messages predefined to reduce development time. Please be advised that you have some very useful information available to you. and lots of comprehensive documentation can be found on the Skywave support site. I would like to once again emphasize that AVL Agent is an application that is ready to use. You will find that it simplifies going to market faster with IDP solution. It does offer many key features from the simple to the complex, and it is designed with versatility and with your customers' specific needs in mind. I would also like to emphasize that AVL Agent is upgradable. This means that as new features become available, you can download and use them immediately. Also, I should mention that AVL Agent is compatible with other agents available from Skywave, including the Garmin Agent, among others. If you'd like to receive more information on the Garmin Agent, please contact a Skywave representative and we will be happy to help you. As our AVL Agent webinar comes to a close, I would like to invite you to visit our Partner Center. Once there, you can download the AVL Agent datasheet as well as a list of other AVL Agent reports. Also, if you visit our customer support site, you will have the AVL Agent technical documents available to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. We hope that this presentation has been informative and useful to you, and we thank you very much for attending this AVL Agent webinar. Please don't hesitate to contact us should you wish to receive additional information on this or any of our products and services. Thank you again for attending this Skywave webinar.